Welcome to the Everything Podcast. This episode, I'm going to be recapping the first ever box set of the 11th Doctor Adventures titled The First Question, which was released on the 26th of March 2026. I'm recording this episode exactly 2 weeks later on the 9th of April 2026. But before I spoil the events of the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question, let's read the official news and show you the trailer. So here's the synopsis. Doctor Who, the universe has forgot the Doctor, or so the Doctor hopes. But there are still adventures to be had, evil to be fought, and lives to save. From 1990s Hong Kong to the depths of space in the far future, and back in time to say that the Salem witch trials, the Doctor stands firm in his opposition to tyranny and injustice. We start off with the final cut, written by Lisa McMullen from a story by Max Kievsky. Hong Kong 1990, the Doctor answers a call for help from Eleanor Fong, CEO of Fong Enterprises. Only he's 11 years too late, and in those intervening years she's been busy helping people to forget. We then have The Tourist Trap, written by Beth Axford. In an attempt to ease Eleanor into time and space travel, the Doctor takes her to Space Florida. Unfortunately, it's not the relaxing paradise he remembers. The holiday makers are missing, so are the crew, and something monstrous is closing in. We then finish off the set with a Delusion of Witches, also written by Lisa McMullen. As fear rises amid the Salem witch trials of 1692, one woman knows for absolute certainty that it's not witchcraft or devilry people need to fear, it's human beings. This set was recorded between the 10th and 12th of September 2025 and was recorded at the Sound House. We've got a few quotes here. Producer John Ainsworth said, "I'm very excited to be overseeing the new 11th Doctor Adventures. Every Doctor's era has its own particular flavour, and our aim is to always be as authentic as possible in terms of style and tone to what we're seeing in the television series. We've been very successful in presenting brand new stories that still have the familiar flavour of the 11th Doctor's previous adventures." Miles Taylor said, "What an honour it is to be stepping into the boots of the 11th Doctor and Matt Smith. I'm chuffed to bits to be flying the TARDIS in his wake. It's a real dream come true. I think I watched the 11th hour every day in the week after it went out, so the Smith era really does hold such a special place in my heart. I've done a lot of preparation rewatching 11th Doctor stories, absorbing Matt Smith's habits and the rhythm of his voice, and understanding the 11th Doctor in a more intimate way than when I was watching as a viewer. It was a delight to finally get into the recording studio and wave my hands about with our wonderful cast and crew. Working with Jasmine has been a proper joy. The energy she brought was infectious. We had a ridiculously fun time. I can't wait for people to come along on our adventures, bouncing from Hong Kong to Space Florida to Salem, and hope they have as much fun as we did making them. I honestly feel lucky and privileged to be part of it all. I feel like the Doctor now. I'm loving every minute, and I've got more adventures to come, so bring them on. Geronimo." Jasmine Bays added, "It's incredibly exciting. It's just a dream job, right? I love Doctor Who. It means a lot to me to be part of the show. When I was younger, I felt like if I was to be a companion for any of the Doctors, I'd love it to be the 11th. And it's been wonderful working with Miles. His 11th Doctor is amazing, and we bounce off each other really nicely. I think it's really nice to have a character like Eleanor written with so much gumption. She's very professional. They're both a little bit resistant in the first episode because they're trying to outsmart one another. And she has this solid wall up, but there's a lot to break through there to see what else she's capable of and see what other colours come out of her." Big Finish creative director Nicholas Briggs said, "We had a long search for a new 11th Doctor voice following Jacob Dudman's decision to leave the role as Big Finish's 11th and 12th Doctors, as he's now in the Scrubs reboot. More on that in a future episode. We heard many auditions. Then someone pointed us in the direction of Miles, who auditioned him, and he was truly marvellous in the role. Shortly after that, we started casting for his companion, Eleanor Fong. Jasmine gave a brilliant audition and is a big fan of the show, so she seemed a perfect fit. The two of them instantly got on in studio, and by the end of the first block, they were quite a team. I can't emphasise enough what a pleasure it was to work with them both. They were really excited and worked extremely hard to make every scene as good as it could be." Lisa McMullen, writer of the first and third episode, said, "I was lucky enough to be gifted a brilliant new companion story for the 11th Doctor and a glorious new companion. I'd love to have claimed credit for the creation of Eleanor Fong, but she's the brainchild of Matt Skiewski, and I'm just her surrogate mother, if that's not too weird an analogy. Logistical shenanigans meant I got to script her instructions while it's her third adventure, Geronimo. Eleanor feels like a fresh take on her companion. She's not the type of character to begin with. At least you'd expect the Doctor to join forces with. In fact, you'd be forgiven for thinking she was the antagonist, but of course nothing has ever quite succeeded. This is the 11th Doctor just after the wedding of River Song. He should really be on his honeymoon, but as far as he's concerned, everyone except his wife thinks he's dead and he'd like to keep it that way. But the Doctor isn't exactly great at lying low. The second Doctor is written by Beth Axford, who's known for working on Puffin's Doctor Who books, and here submits her first script for an audio drama. She said, I am so delighted to be making my Big Finish debut with an episode of the 11th Doctor Adventures, a project I'm extremely proud to be a part of. It's been so exciting to expand on a story we never got to see on screen. And getting to explore a brand new companion for the 11th Doctor has been a dream. Writing for a Doctor I grew up adoring feels like a really special first script experience, and I can't wait for fans to find out what we've done with Splace. Florida, the cast includes Miles Taylor as the 11th Doctor, Jason Bays as Eleanor Fong, and that's kind of it for the main cast, otherwise I'll be here till Christmas. The cover art was done by Lee Johnson, the director was Nicholas Briggs, the executive producers were Jason Genery and Nicholas Briggs, the music was done by Sam Dinley, the script editors were William Croft and Matt Skiewski, the sound designer was done by David Rucroft. The episodes were written by Lisa McMullen and Beth Axford, talked about previously. Senior producer was done by John Ainsworth. This box set has a total runtime of 207 minutes. Now we've actually got a audio trailer and we've got some behind the scenes. So I'm going to show you the behind the scenes, which is if you want to watch it properly. So obviously this only applies to those who are listening to it, but if you want to watch the YouTube upload for the behind the scenes of the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question, you can find it on the Big Finish YouTube channel, and then I'll show you the audio trailer afterwards. So here is the behind the scenes at Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question.
Hello, I'm Miles Taylor and I'm playing the 11th Doctor.
And I'm Jasmine Bays and I'm playing the 11th Doctor's new companion, Eleanor Fong.
Today's the first day of recording. We're recording episode 1. We've just had our first half of the day. Very nervous going in. It was a real kind of element of the unknown, not knowing what to expect. After having the morning, demystifying the process and getting the chance to do it, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm having such a great time. I'm basically playing around being Doctor Who for the day, holding various items to be sonic screwdrivers. So it's been a good start to the day. I'm just eager to keep going and get more because it's the most fun on the planet, really.
My first day playing Eleanor has been incredibly exciting. Very fulfilling in terms of finally being able to put it on its feet and actually in a studio with everyone around you as well. It's so much more relaxing than I was expecting. I was quite nervous. Again, the whole team are just so lovely and making you feel so welcome.
It's tricky to say when I discovered that I could do Matt Smith's voice. To some degree, I've been playing the 11th Doctor since I was 10 years old in the playground. It's kind of one of those things that's just evolved over time. Did little videos on YouTube here and there, and then gradually sort of went, you know what, maybe I could just try doing this a bit more and develop this. And obviously it's turned out very well because here I am. It still doesn't quite feel real.
I have been in Doctor Who before on television. It was during Ncuti's first season. I was part of UNIT. I was a soldier in that episode, and I had one line. I ran on, said my line, and then left. But it did feel amazing as a Doctor Who fan. It felt like I was very silently fangirling because I had to be very professional. But inside I was freaking out because the sets are amazing, the whole team are amazing, and just to be part of that world is amazing.
It's been quite the wait since I was both asked to audition and also offered the part as well. I've had to keep the secret for a long while. I'm sort of getting a sense of what it's like to be the Doctor on a micro scale and having to keep that secret.
Miles is fantastic. I felt this when I had my first meeting with him, actually. And when he said that he was playing the 11th Doctor, I was like, oh yeah, cool, how exciting, Matt Smith. And it wasn't until he spoke that I literally, I think I had goosebumps. I got very excited because he just sounds just like him. And of course, he's a wonderful human being as well, who's also very, very kind. We both had our first day together, so it was nice to be in the same boat and sharing the nerves in taking this on.
In terms of what I'm most looking forward to playing this part, I mean, obviously there's the typical fan things of I would love to meet the Daleks and to hear that voice in my ears, or Cybermen, or the Jadoon, all these names. I could be here all day just listing them all off. But yeah, and I think also just on a personal level, just becoming more comfortable, more confident in the role as we do more of these sets and enjoying just journeying into these new places. I'm excited to see where the writers take us. I think that's going to be a real joy. I think seeing these scripts appear and, we're in Space Florida today, and now we're going all the way back to Salem and witch trials. It's you've no idea where you're going. It's very much like stepping out of the TARDIS.
I hope the journey that Eleanor goes on, we get to see a little bit more of kind of beyond the facade of her being a CEO professional. That I think that sometimes her intelligence and her skill is very much on this forefront, this kind of mask that she hides behind, when actually, what can be found behind that and beneath that, and does she have any emotional intelligence to bring to the floor as well? And it would be great for her to meet some old school monsters, some old school Doctor Who monsters. So yeah, like the Daleks or the Cybermen would be great.
So these stories are set post the Wedding of Riversong. The 11th Doctor is still in his green trench coat, so we've got a distinctive look for this series, and the universe thinks the Doctor's dead, so we're kind of exploring the repercussions of that. I'm excited to know how that's going to change things, and where and what we'll explore with that, and where we'll go, who we'll meet, and how the Doctor being dead affects the universe.
We hope you enjoy listening to our new audio drama series. I hope you like Eleanor.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoy some more adventures with the 11th Doctor. We're looking forward to where the TARDIS takes us next. Geronimo.
That was the trailer. No, it wasn't. It was the behind the scenes for Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question, which, as I said, if you want to watch it, it is available on on Big Finish's YouTube channel. It'll be one of the first releases because they don't tend to post that often. They only do they don't do every release. They do particular ones. But yeah, before I spoil the events of the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question is the trailer.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question.
In the beginning, once upon a time, humanoid, but some sort of electrically charged entity.
You are not welcome here.
Go home. Your boss is a nightmare, worked you way too hard. I don't know why you put up with it.
I had a dog once.
Yeah? What was she like?
Absolute nightmare. Kept zapping people.
Doctor, we've seriously got to get out of bed.
Great name. The White Room. Love the album.
How much? Safer?
Well, you'll survive about an extra minute up here. Oh, sorry. Did you think you were about to die?
Yes. Death in bat. A restless idiot who means well. Someone who is smart enough to actually make a difference and stupid enough to believe he isn't a crusader.
You know, those are almost compliments. Give them another go. You might actually get there.
Who are you?
I'm nobody. Just passing through.
You don't want to kill me. I pay your wages. It's yours, isn't it? It's something to do with you.
I can move it if it's in the way.
That's not the point.
Actually, it is making it difficult to get at the fax machine.
What is it? How did it get there?
It's a British thing. They had them in the 50s and 60s.
Then what is it doing in Hong Kong in the 1990s? For a teleporting time machine, I thought it might be bigger.
Bigger?
Let me go, Mary! I ain't doing nothing!
Very nice. Comfy chairs, coffee, television set.
Can someone turn the volume up?
And has anyone got any jammy dodgers? Stupid humans! Look at your house, Scotland. You need help.
You have my attention.
Lovely bit of kit. Shame about the eugenics.
The station was attacked. Our energy reserves were drained. Life support went critical.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
And ever after.
That was the trailer for the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question and the first box set in the 11th Doctor Adventures range. And yeah, as I should mention, from now on, saying this 15 minutes into an episode is wild, but this episode will contain spoilers from the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question. So if you haven't listened to the 11th Doctor Adventures, the first question box set yet, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to go over or pause the episode. But please stay if you've already listened to the episode, or if you've come back, or if you don't mind being spoiled. I will start spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So, yeah, obviously now the 11th Doctor news stories at Big Finish have gone from being in the Chronicles range to now having a dedicated 11th Doctor Adventures range. But kind of all the compliments that I gave Jacob Dudman, so if you want to see those, look for the 11th Doctor Chronicles. Any episode with that title will be one of those. Again here, like if it didn't say full cast audio drama starring Miles Taylor and Jasmine Bates, you wouldn't know that Matt Smith wasn't in it. It's that kind of good to the point where you kind of have to. I'm trying not to repeat myself from when I talked about it there, but I think I should mention it now, and then I won't talk about it in future episodes if I can help it. It's insane that someone like wouldn't even try and do any kind of impression. So it's an amazing feat by Miles Taylor. Obviously, I've talked about previously that Miles Taylor has his own YouTube channel, which I've watched previously, and that's kind of, I was really excited when it was announced that he would be playing the 11th Doctor, because I know him, whereas most of the other recasts I'm not aware of. So yeah, so now let's go into each story. Let's actually get into spoiler territory with the final cut. Now this is probably my favourite episode of the set. I know it's the first episode. We get reintroduced to the 11th Doctor, and we meet Eleanor, and they start off by having a very combative relationship. They don't get on at all, to the point where Eleanor locks the 11th Doctor up and kind of stuff of that, and we get hints about who Eleanor is. We know she's a CEO, but kind of we know she doesn't speak to her family. So at the end of the final cut, episode 1 of the final question, the first question rather, that she asks the Doctor to take her, whereas usually the Doctor invites them. So it's a very different way of doing that. Obviously, as you heard or saw in the behind the scenes for this release, that it is and I think I spoke about it in the backstage stuff section as well. That kind of this is set between series 6 and 7, so we're not going to have Amy or Rory or River seemingly in this series. Who knows? Big Finish can't do anything, but yeah, who knows? And then we move on to the Taurus track written by Beth Axford, which kind of continues that slightly lighter tone of Doctor Who, which, as I've talked about previously, is kind of the Doctor Who that I prefer, because this is the space story. So obviously the final cut took place in present day for Eleanor, that being Hong Kong 1990. Then we move on to the space story. That space looks to the future story of the set, to space Florida, and kind of the Doctor trying to give Eleanor a good time, and that doesn't necessarily work. and then Missing Holiday Makers, and lots of running. This episode has lots of running in it. I'm glad I wasn't, involved in this, and then we finished the set with The Delusion of Witches, also written by Lisa McMullen, who wrote co-wrote the first story. And this is a lot darker, this episode, and really it goes places that I didn't even think Doctor Who could go, really, with obviously focusing on a real life event, that being the 1692 Salem witch trials, which I had learned about at school and kind of featured in various TV things like Agatha All Along for the MCU and other things, but I kind of was never aware how much darkness it was, and this kind of really explores that, and kind of explores Eleanor getting used to the idea that she can't save everyone, and that is, it's got a really sad ending, A Delusion of Witches, but this set does kind of show the 11th Doctor's rage during that era. And good news, because Nicholas Briggs confirmed it on the Big Finish podcast a couple of weeks ago now, that a second box set of the 11th Doctor Adventure has been recorded, hopefully more to follow as well. So this isn't the end of the 11th Doctor Adventure Big Finish, which is obviously a really good thing. So if you haven't listened to this set and would like to, I would highly recommend it. And yes, it's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. So let me know what you thought of the 11th Doctor Adventure as the first question if you listened to it, my recap if you didn't. And without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.